Hello, friends. Welcome to today's reflection and meditation. And we are taking the final letter in that acronym RAIN, N. Some writers on Buddhist thought translate this foremost as nurture, being able to create an attitude of compassion towards ourselves. And that's so true, right? However, the definition that I like is non-identification. And what this means is that we open ourselves to recognize that we are not defined by our thoughts or our feelings or our beliefs or by our experiences. That we are awareness itself. And when we step back from over-identifying. For instance, there's a difference between saying, I am anger, I feel angry. I am consumed with worry, I feel worried. You can see kind of the play there where we're observing ourselves versus we're saying we're it. And non-identification is that. Now, before we get into what it is, I want to say what it isn't. In this growing understanding that we are one of the natural weaknesses is to bypass the reality of the layers of what we are. And non-identification, when it's not practiced in its solid way, can be that. It can be a denial of aspects of our wounded self or our brilliant, free self. And how that would show up with RAIN would be a jumping past the other letters. Or maybe you've got the R and then you jump to the N and skip the A and the I. But it's a bypassing of a way that we need to go to get there. So not only does it repress or project or keep the woundedness in place, but it also denies us the freedom that comes from using the way to get there. Now, in the last meditation, we explored the I, the investigation, and the N comes after the I. So after, with curiosity and kindness, you step into a presence that can heal all this, and you investigate it, like, what are the origins? What's the nature of this? What's the texture? Then you ultimately come to the point that in the face of all of this experience, I am not just that. And in practicing this, there is something that happens. We move away from the dysfunctional ways that we are in relationship to ourselves and our lives. We move away from dependence, we move away from anxiety, we move away from inauthenticity, and we move into the experience of natural awareness. So by non-identifying, the awareness that we are can reveal itself. You can see the way it's not like you're going through the back door, but you're not grasping after it. I need to get a hold of how I'm awareness, because that too would be a bit of control, wouldn't it? It is a letting go of all the things that we are not, and then noticing what we are. Jack Canfield tells a great story about a man at one of his retreats, and he says that this man came into that retreat feeling like he was a failure. And a failure in a lot of different ways in his life. But the latest one was feeling like a failure at meditation. He had practiced for many years. And while he could say that he was calmer, he was not free of his negative thinking and his emotions. So he plunged into feeling that he was a failure, an identity, that what held him bound. As he began reflecting upon this non-identification, it was late one night. In fact, he woke up with an aha moment. And he realized, he had a direct experience that he was not his feelings. And he was not his thoughts about himself. And he was not his beliefs. And he was not all of these things. You know what it was? It was a Helen Keller experience. So I use that as a coined term, and many do, right? Because Helen Keller went from having no grasp that the signs, that the letters put in her hand were related to the things her teacher were putting her into contact with. She wasn't able to cross that gap. She couldn't logically make the connection because she had never heard the word. She had never seen the substance. So she had no way to relate to this. And in her negative patterning that was so filled with frustration and angst, it seemed like the bridge wasn't going to happen. But her teacher kept on. Why? Because she knew that if she kept doing the one thing connected with the other, one thing connected to the other, there was a good chance that at some point Helen was going to get it. And as we can see, she did. It was with water. I think that was outdoor at a pump. And her teacher kept signing it, and water, signing it. And what happened? She woke up. And then she was insatiably curious about what everything was. And what happened for this Buddhist practitioner, he was the same way when he had that aha moment and realized he wasn't his thoughts and he wasn't his feelings and it wasn't his inner states or his beliefs or what he appeared to the world or what he appeared to himself. He wasn't any of those things. What happened is he was filled with so much joy that even when he was laughing, he realized he wasn't the laughter. He tasted freedom. He tasted the liberation. He had made a commitment to face his demons. And in facing his demons and letting go, stepping back, he couldn't bridge that gap. But the awareness of his being came forward to bridge that gap for him. So can you see the mechanism there? Our work is to set up the occasion for us to experience ourselves as awareness. We don't know when or how that moment will come or how often it will come or when we will stabilize to live from only that place. We don't know these things. There's a mystery to our path that's far beyond what we can really understand. But we can devote ourselves to the setup. Now, I've used recently Joe Dispenza's work a bit more and more. And in one of our reflections, I pointed out his understanding that when we go from somebody to nobody, we step out of the particle into the wave of potentiality. And from that experience, from the nobody, we set up the spaciousness to experience we are everybody. We want to set up the experience over and over again. And part of it is the mental work. I'm not my negative thought right now. I'm not whatever happens ultimately in this relationship. I'm not what my career becomes or is at this point. I'm not what my belief is, whether it's limiting, whether it's liberating. I am not even my liberating beliefs. So even when I say I am divine love, I'm not even that who says I am divine love. Because when we awaken into the fullness of being, what happens? That kind of self-reflecting consciousness disappears in the immediacy of the experience. There's a lovely passage. I actually came across my feed that I posted, I think 9 years ago. And it comes from Adyashanti's book, Eternal Now. I love Adya. But this is non-identification, but it's a reflection on non-identification. Take a moment to check and see if you are actually here. Before there is right and wrong, we are just here. Before there is good or bad or unworthy, and before there is sinner or saint, we are just here. Just meet here. where silence is, where the stillness inside dances. Just here, before knowing something or not knowing. Just meet here, where all points of view merge into one, and the one point disappears. Just see if you can meet right now where you touch the eternal, and feel the eternal living and dying at each moment. Just to meet here. Before you were an expert, before you were a beginner. Just be here, where who you are, what you will always will be, where you will never add anything to this or subtract anything. Meet me here where you want nothing and where you are nothing. The here that is unspeakable, where we meet only mystery to mystery, or we don't meet at all. Meet here where you find yourself by not finding yourself. In this place where quietness is deafening and stillness moves too fast to catch it. Meet here where you are what you want and you want what you are. And everything falls away into radiant emptiness. This is speaking of the experience of being freed from over-identification. So what we're going to do is we're going to, for our meditation practice, take the fodder from the last meditation. And if you're coming into this at this point, you're going to take one uncomfortable emotion or thought process. And in recognizing it and allowing it and investigating it, now we're going to non-identify with it. This can be done in a practical way by creating an image of what it is and isn't. Or by simply creating an image. You can have an image of yourself being very angry, and you sit, not it, but present to it. You can do it just by focusing in. I'll be guiding something with the body where you move into a certain spaciousness where there is no time and you are space. And we're simply going to just be here. Meet me here where you want nothing and where you are nothing. The here that is unspeakable, where we meet only mystery to mystery, or we do not meet at all. And while there are many paradoxes in this path of awakening, that is one of them, where we meet what? Mystery to mystery, or we do not meet at all. So I invite you to close your eyes. With the eyes closed, become aware of the breath. And let the breath expand and contract effortlessly. Notice that the breath is breathing you, and in a way you are the breath, but in another way you're not the breath. And allow the breath to be. And now bring up that uncomfortable thought, feeling, or emotion, or belief, whatever it was that has been one of your points of focus. And become aware of it. The feeling of it, where it is in the body or not, the thought of it, the pattern. And if you need to surround it with white light or breathe white light into whatever it is, whether it's an image, a feeling, a place in the body, a patterning, a thought, and imagine that you're just surrounding it with white light. And maybe even the white light pulses with the breath. It's here within your knowing. But you are not it. And stay with this. This part of you is part of you, but it is not you. It is not you. Create space around this. And to help this practice become even easier, allow it to be situated, even if it's situated in your energy field, just wherever it may be that you have it contained so that you can step away from identifying with it. And bring your focus to your feet and see that your feet are surrounded by space. And your ankles are surrounded by space. And your legs and your feet are surrounded by space. Your hips and low back. Your abdomen all surrounded by space. organs and mid-torso, middle back, all surrounded by space. Your upper body, upper back, heart, lungs, all surrounded by space. Your shoulders, shoulder blades, your arms and hands, all surrounded by space. Your neck surrounded by space. Your head surrounded by space. And you are there in space. And this that you have stepped away from, but you know is part of you, the painful thought or feeling or memory or belief, it too is surrounded by space. And we sit in the silence. Enjoy the spaciousness of your being. Enjoy the moment of just being here and the pain that is still existing within you. You're just here. There's no need to see good or bad or right or wrong, should or shouldn't have been. we begin to bring this practice to a close, I invite you to very slowly bring your palms together in front of your heart. And once the palms are there, lift the palms to the third eye, watching the hands as they move. If you can, lift the palms up above the head, oh so slightly. Pull the palms down back to the forehead. Bring the palms to the throat, touching the throat with the thumbs. And bring them back to the heart. Making the choice that just today, to just be here, and to return whenever you move into over-identifying with any part of yourself. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Blessings, my friend.